Okay, welcome to the first dev vlog for what is going to be my new game that is still unnamed. The way I'm going to be doing these is kind of just recording myself week to week and then compiling it all into one larger dev vlog whenever I feel like I have enough content. Just that way I'm not trying to recollect what I did all month and then just not really explain things. This way it's more fresh in my head. I can show you the progress instead of just kind of showing the final results. So, all that being said, this first week or so has not been great. I have had a lot of issues with Visual Studios and just like C++ in general because I'm not used to C++. I've never actually done it. SimSolver is all blueprints. This game is going to be blueprints and C++, just to have it more secure and just better built systems. So my Visual Studios was all messed up. My Unreal Engine was not set up properly for C++. I basically had to restart like 3 times, uninstall everything. Finally got it working now, and I'm starting to get the hang of Visual Studios a little bit more. It's still terrifying, but I feel more confident now. So, what this game is, or right now, I'm not going to get too into what the game is going to be yet. Just kind of show you what I've been doing. So initially, I had it as this is like an older version of the project, and I actually got up to this point about twice before realizing that just Visual Studios wasn't working, and I had the Unreal Engine Visual Studios just wasn't talking to each other, and I had to include in all these extra header files that I shouldn't have had to do, and it just seemed like it was going to be an issue, and so I just went back and started from scratch and reinstalled everything, which fixed it. But I got up to this point a lot, just getting this basic WASD movement down, and so there's no mouse control. And the plan was you kind of click to get around to, and you can click on enemies, click to fight, click spells. None of that's done yet, but that was kind of the idea for this game. And then I was thinking about it, and I was like, I do not want this game to be top down like this. Not that I'm opposed to making those type of games, but for what I'm trying to do and what I actually want to do in the game industry, it's not creating I would happily create these 2D environments, but I want to be able to work in a 3D space more and kind of stretch my level design skills, and I feel like that's going to be far more constrained in a 2D environment. 2D was more about systems or story, which I do want to write a story for this game, but I just still want to be able to do more level design and not just have it be a one plane where you're just kind of walking and fighting and that's all. So I decided, all right, gotta take time to figure out how to actually get it to be that third-person perspective in Visual Studios and how to program that, which was very frustrating for me. I eventually figured it out on my own. The solution was probably way easier than sure. The solution was probably easy and I'm just dumb. But anyways, so close out of this older build. Don't need that. And I have the newer version running up here. And so now I actually have it working, so it's a 3D perspective, which I'm very happy with. And I still have the mouse cursor. Initially I had it just the mouse cursor wouldn't be there, but I realized that wasn't gonna work. So in order to move the screen, you do have to kind of drag it with the mouse. It's gonna be a slower paced game. It's not gonna be a heavy action game. And again, the combat's gonna be you're pointing and clicking on these guys, and I've got set up these they're basic animations, and I have a highlight system set up on them, so. So you put your mouse over them, they highlight red, and eventually you'll be attacking the spells and whatnot. So that's kind of the main thing I've been working on, and it's obviously not a lot for the first week. It's because I had to restart a few times, but also I just don't know what I'm doing. So stop it here. I'll kind of show you how I added that 3D perspective. So I just kind of realized, you have to create an input action. I should actually probably go back and I'll show you this, but anyways, there's the inputs the IA move, which I had set up, and then I created IA look, but for some reason Unreal Engine wasn't recognizing it, or not Unreal Engine, Visual Studios wasn't recognizing it, and I was having a lot of troubles with the compiling errors. And then I basically just realized that because I was purely trying to put it in the public Aurora player controller. So, and I was okay, well, it's there because I have this variable look, or I'm sorry, I'm getting mixed around. It's going to be uncut, doesn't matter. I was only doing it in the private, so go to the private folder. This is how you add in the look right down here, and put like the movement, like the move action. I was like, okay, we do that. Add the move action, and that's working. So I just needed the exact same thing for the look action. I did that, but the engine wasn't recognizing it, or I keep on saying engine. Visual Studio wasn't recognizing it. So I eventually realized, like, okay, what am I doing wrong here? Because all this is right. I know this is right. It was all working. It's literally just this look input. I just realized I'm stupid, and I have to go into the public folder, and actually define that as a U property and put in the look variable. And once I did that, everything worked perfectly, and I was able to boot up my game. Hold on. So I was able to boot up my game here and then go into the input. So like I said, I created the eye look and like everything. I actually referred back to the base like Unreal Engine like third person game mode to kind of set up the camera and spring arm and stuff just to make sure that it was right because I didn't really know what I was doing. But I kind of copied everything they did and set up all the details right in here. And I was like, okay, I set up all the details right in the context. It's all working there. Have the mouse XY and then the gate. I was like, okay, everything should be working, right? It was not. And then once I added that thing into the public folder of the player controller, everything kind of fell into place. So we go into the player controller here. This thing popped up finally because I programmed it in because I'm being dumb because I had the eye moved and the eye aurora context in there. But this look action was not a thing yet. And then, of course, once I put it in there, I was able to slide in my input, the eye look, and set it, and everything worked perfectly, and I was so relieved. And yeah, that's just kind of what I was struggling with for a long time. Simple stuff, probably. For me, it was complicated. Probably going to end the dev vlog here, or this first part of the dev vlog. Yeah. So this is just kind of first week where I'm at. Probably see you guys in like a week or so, or it'll be the same video for you. So who do you care? All right, I'm gonna shut up. Bye. All right, I should probably talk about things other than getting my character to move because I've been doing more. The character movement was just like the hardest, or the character movement and the camera angle. But just quickly to touch upon some things, I'm not gonna get into like the details. Everything I show, I also as of now have like a C++ class for, and like the Visual Studio files. Not gonna get into that because that just confuses me. Even though I did it, I don't like to look around in there. But so I have like the baseline enemy base class, so I can apply that to like both the goblin and the goblin with spear, or the goblin slingshot and goblin with spear, and then just kind of make changes based on their class in the blueprint. But then having like this like hard-coded C++ class with like basic stuff in it, I think that'll just make things simpler. Same thing with like animations. I like the baseline animations. I don't have anything set up other than idle right now for the enemies, but that I can just expound upon there. And again, just kind of make changes. So I apply the baseline animation blueprint to an enemy, and then I just go and like, okay, now I use the goblin animations instead of the troll animations or whatever. Just doing things that way. Same thing for like the main character. Have her animations and like basic character setup, getting like the sockets on the skeletal rigs for weapons, defining what the weapons are, all of that fun stuff. What else before I wrap up this little section? I talked briefly about like the enemy targeting system, or it's not really a targeting system yet, more like a highlight system. So just when your mouse hovers over them, it gets a little red outline, and that's just handled by a process volume, and it applies a certain type of material to these characters just to outline them. It's like a custom render pass, or custom depth render pass. You can see it right there. I can apply it to anything. So you can see, get a little closer, it's highlighting that weapon right there. Obviously I don't want that. I want to target the enemy, but that's how that works. You can have that like all in the C++ here. Right here, enemy interface, it's the private folders, public, that works, just highlight actor, unhighlight actor. And yeah, that's pretty much it for like this first week, just kind of getting this very basic stuff, and now I have something, so hopefully the next update I'll have some more, and we'll see. Okay, super quick update. Two big things, first of all, or maybe not big things, just like things in general. I switched over to Writer, so now everything's just a lot neater, a lot cleaner. I can make my whole thing purple, which makes me happy. And yeah, so it just became free as the time of me developing this. So I was like, all right, gonna use that. Transferred everything over from Visual Studios, pretty easy. So there's that. And then also I got version control set up. So now through SourceTree, I actually have backups, because my kind of general thought process was like, oh, I'm just gonna make a bunch of backups and save it on my hard drive, like the whole project, which I'm still kind of doing because I'm scared. But now through SourceTree, I got my version control set up, so we're good there. When I'm updating my code, I can make mistakes and then be able to go back. So don't have to worry about that anymore, which is a good thing, because I'm gonna make mistakes. But for things for the actual game, what have I been doing? Basically just making these ability and attribute systems. So right here, I have max health set up, or health, max health, mana, and max mana set up. So these are the two like attribute systems. Kind of set up their default values. This will all probably be done like in the game actually, but right now it's just here in Visual Studio. So I have the max values, and then I have like something so like this is gonna be, I'll show you in the game. This is like gonna be a potion, so like an effect actor, just to be able to change those values in some sort of way. Let me go ahead and show that in Memento. So here, you can see I already got the potion set up and created. Just type in the debug menu. Alright, so I don't know if you're actually going to see the camera, but in the top left corner of the screen you can see that the health is at 100, and it's also showing like max health, mana, and all that. But then when I go for this potion, look at that, it goes up 25. So that's just like a little thing I've been working on. So like I said, super quick update, just getting attributes set up. Next up is probably going to like make those attributes show up in the game like on UI, I would assume. That should probably be my next step. But yeah, that's just kind of what I've been doing. Also, you can also see like my page up here, attributes on these guys as well, but that's not really important. Okay, yeah, anyways, see you in the next update. Okie dokie. In the last little segment, I had the health potions, and I have just been expounding on that as I'm learning more and more about gameplay effects and just Unreal's gameplay ability systems. So I still do have health potions, of course, and then I also have mana potions, but the potions have been changed. So now they give you different values based around a healing curve, or not a healing curve, just like a curve in general for mana and health. So that is done by this. So you can see right here, I went in and I just created a chart. So if a level, so also potions and everything has potions, yeah, just potions in general have values. So a level 1 potion will give you 5, level 2, 7.5, 10, 15, 20, so on and so forth. Those numbers aren't final, just kind of testing purpose numbers. But then, depending, so you can see here I have a curve for both mana and healing. Doesn't really matter because it's the same numbers right now. But then if I go into my gameplay effect for healing, you can see I have it set up so it's affecting the aura attribute health set, it's adding, and then I have a scalable flow of 1, and then it takes the curve, will take that 1 and multiply it by 5. So level 1 potion, give you 5 health. And then if it's level 2 potion, I'll multiply the number by 7.5, giving you 7.5 health. And 10, and you know, you get it. Pretty sure you understand math, whoever you are watching. Why am I talking to the audience? Okay, Anyways, same thing for mana. So I'll just show that here visually. I should just pop up the debug menu. I don't think you can even see this stuff, but so right now you can see that I have 50 health. And then if I run into that potion, 60. Run into that potion, 67. Run into that potion, 72. I did that backwards, so the first potion picked gave me 10, second potion gave me 7.5, last potion I picked up gave me 5. And you can see here that that's determined by actor level. So right here in the right, you can see that's actor level 1, actor level 2, actor level 3. If I duplicate it, I can do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And however much I want to do. Same thing as for the potions. Then I also have these over time effects. So if I run into the mana, you'll see in the bottom left that my mana kind of goes up slowly over time. Right there. Exact same thing goes for the health crystals. And that is very similar to the potion heal effects. It's just more, it has a duration now. So it is applying 1 health every 0.1 seconds. And then there's kind of and then as each time, or each 0.2 second, it kind of scales by 2. So it slowly gets faster and faster and faster. So I have that set up there. It's still affecting the aura health or the aura mana, depending on which crystal it is it's adding. And you can see I have it set up as has duration. And the potion effects are just, there's no duration, it's instant, but this takes time. So there's that. I don't have a curve table set up for that yet, but I mean, it'll be the exact same thing as the health, just same, or not the exact same, but same idea. And then I also have these area effects set up. So when you stand in this one, it's mana over time, and stand in this one, it's health over time, and stand in that one, it's negative health over time because it's fire, and fire hurts. Surprise, surprise. So, show that real quick. See, it just slowly goes up. So instead of the crystal, which is like you don't have to stand there, you can just pick it up and it'll do it over time. This, you have to be in the circle for it to work, because as soon as you do the circle, it's going to stop. Same goes for health. And it's very slow. And if you go to fire, it goes down pretty fast. And that is pretty much the same as like those gameplay effects are pretty much the same as the crystal effects. Actually, I'll see if I can show them side by side here. So this is showing like the crystal heal and the fire damage. So see, the difference is this has duration. The crystals, it's like a set time, and then this one is just infinite. So as long as you're standing in that circle, it's going to be healing you, it's going to be hurting you, whatever it is. Or not that circle, that collision sphere or box, whatever it's going to be. Different values, but kind of same thing. I also have stacking set up, so you can only have so many effects going on at once. And the way I did the fire for to damage you was just applying a negative value. Not that interesting. But yeah, it's pretty much the same. It's just the only difference is infinite or has duration. So infinite is the area effects, has durations like the crystal, just over time. And then obviously potions, like I said, are immediate. So there's that. You can see here, I don't think these are going to be final looks for things. I just kind of created like what looks like kind of a healing aura. So like crystal in the middle is kind of powering it. I don't know. Right now, the story stuff and world building is so vague in my head that I don't know exactly how everything's going to work. But one thing I do know is that magic is going to be purple, because I hated the blue look, because magic is not blue, it's purple in my head, because purple's cool. So I did some texture overhauls in both the UI and like the actual meshes. So the health is more of like a pinkish red now, and then the purple is a very deep purple. I overhauled the potion looks, changed those colors around. Crystals, I was editing the colors a bit. Just very small, stupid changes like that, but that's what I enjoy doing. And yeah, that's all for this update, and we'll see what happens next time. I don't know, because I haven't done it. I lied about the segment being over. That's because I forgot to talk about the coding end of things, because I don't like talking about the coding end of things, because I don't know what I'm doing. The course that I'm using to help me code all this has been doing everything in C++ first. I just am kind of being very rigid about following the tutorials and doing exactly what I'm told. I'm not like trying things in C++. I'm not, because I'm just gonna break everything if I do that. And going forth, I'm gonna avoid talking about the C++ end of things, because like I'm doing the job of both programmer and designer, but like yes, I am the one programming, but it's more just the videos and tutorials that I'm following doing it, and I'm just kind of mindlessly doing it. But then like once we get into like the blueprints and Unreal Engine side of things, I know exactly what's happening, and I'm learning about that, and I'm understanding how everything I'm programming affects the blueprints and all these gameplay systems within the engine. But I just don't think I'm like, I think if I try to talk about the programming end of things too much, it's just not going to make sense, because I can't explain this stuff. But all this stuff is what is allowing me to do all of this stuff. Yeah, so I want to say that going forward, just gonna not talk too much about programming. Even though I'm doing a lot of programming, that's just taking up most of the time right now. Just kind of allowing me to build these really like solid systems that usually someone else, if I was like working for a game studio, there would be a programmer doing this, and I would just be doing the designing stuff, which is what I enjoy doing. So that's just what I'm gonna focus on. Yeah. Again, gonna shut the fuck up now, so I stop rambling. Alright, see you in the next segment. Bye. Alright, before I end this dev vlog, let's talk about gameplay tags and everything I'm doing with those. So before I actually get into horribly explaining what I've been doing, let me kind of show you just the end result here. Basically, now the game knows what these things are called, beyond just me naming them. Like, there's actually communication systems happening. It's telling the game engine that this is a mana crystal. As you can see, right there, it says picked up mana crystal. Same thing goes for mana potions, health crystals, health potions, and that's all through gameplay tags. And then there's also that UI element I did. That's just a text box that I animated. Not too fancy. That's just, here, I'll just show you real quick. That's just an overlay element, and then I have just like the simple play animation and destroy it. That doesn't matter. That's not what I'm talking about. Let me see here. So gameplay tags, I made some very simple ones just to start out with. So I made some for attributes, some baseline attributes that I'm going to have. I'll probably be adding more, but just intelligence, resilience, strength, vigor. I'm not using those yet, just made them. And then the ones I am using right now is the vital attributes, which that's health, mana, max health, and max mana. And then I have those gameplay tags in a data table, and kind of saying, okay, so this gameplay tag health crystal, when we recognize that, we play the message picked up health crystal. And then the way I set that is going into, and also like there's all the C++ stuff that I don't understand that I'm not going to talk about, like I said, because it's confusing. So here in the crystal heal, I just add a component, tag this effect has, set that as the health crystal one, and then it communicates through the gameplay tags, just like I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, that's just kind of how it communicates it, and that's that. So it just takes that. So the UI element I created will just kind of take that data from the data table and display it as you saw with the picked up health crystal, picked up mana crystal stuff. So there's that. Then another thing I was doing is adding a ghost globe to, actually let me make some more here. Is adding a ghost globe to my progress bars. Right now. The two I have right now are the mana and health. So you can see when I get damaged, I have that little gray effect that follows it. That is the ghost globe. And then back up and show you again. That just kind of quickly follows to kind of give you a visual indicator that you are losing health. or mana, but I don't have any way to lose mana yet. That was a real bitch setup. I basically had to just create a bunch of new functions and variables, like the exact same stuff I made for the regular globes, but have it applied to the ghost globe. So you can see here, I'm not gonna get into that. Hold on. Just bear with me. So you can see here I had to do like the interpolate the ghost globe, set the ghost globe progress percent, update ghost globe brush, set the progress bar percent, which was really annoying. The biggest thing that was messing me up was this ghost interp speed. I basically just had a typo in it. I had it as 0.1 and it wasn't working, and I was really confused, and I'm an idiot. That's why it wasn't working. So fix that. Then just added in a new background image, which is that ghost image right here. Really nothing special. Not much more to say about it. Just kind of just another little nice visual cue, just refining the UI elements and making it a little bit more believable. Or not believable, but just like better, I guess. So yeah, that is kind of just like the last little update for this first devlog. Gameplay tags, because I'll gonna be using gameplay tags going forward. It's just like baseline level stuff, and I have the framework for it, and then that ghost globe thing. Yeah. So I will see you in the next devlog, whenever that might be. Bye bye.